What's up, everyone? My name is Mario Coleman, aka The Next Level. What I'm going to do today is, because I've been noticing, I've been talking to some of my friends who are avid Reason users, and one of the problems that they're having is when they convert up from Reasons 4 or Reasons 5 to Reason 6, is they're really just overwhelmed by just all the new tools that Reason 6 has versus what Reasons 4 has. And then on top of that, it's just really insane because it's just a whole new world of options that's opened up with Reason 6. And I think it's tragic because like I said, people just get overwhelmed and they don't even want to go there. So using this video, I'm going to do this video today to kind of help you guys out. I kind of simplified it, and so hopefully it'll help you out. So first thing I'm going to do is I recommend you use 2 monitors with Reasons, with the new version of Reasons if you can afford it. So what I'm going to be doing is kind of like just sliding different things backwards and forth so you get a chance to see it. Now of course the traditional Reasons sequencer is still the same, right? I'm gonna go ahead on and fire this track up, and I'll be looping it so you can basically see what I'm doing here. So this is a song that I did like years ago in Reasons, I think Reasons 4. It was even before the Kong came out, right, in Reasons 5. So I've been doing Reasons ever since like 2.5, right? So I'm an avid Reason user. So anyway, let's go into it. So this is the song right here. This is my rack that I'm using for the song. And you can see Reasons has gone ahead and created like a new master section. But the traditional rack looks the same. And you can see that my rack is pretty involved here. I mean, I got some serious stuff happening all the way down. So, and I've converted the songs before, so you'll really get a chance to see how this whole thing comes together, okay? So, what I'm going to do now is show you one of the most important things. If you don't remember anything else about this whole situation, I want you to remember this. One of the most important tools that'll help you to convert your new song, your old song into a Reason 6 format is going to be the mix tool. That is so critical. The mix tool. I can't express to you how important that is, because that is gonna allow you, man, to get your song up and running in Reason 6. Okay, now first thing I'm gonna do here is, because this is what's confusing to me, is change the mode on the peak meters. Because see, normally when you default to Reason 6, when you first bring it up, it's going to look like that. And it's really hard to get let me go back. I think it's going to be this right here. Yeah. And it's kind of hard to get an accurate reading on what your volume levels are, because it's just doing something that ain't really what it is, right? So you just want to go into meter mode and click once. Now that'll give you more of an accurate reading. You'll see that, like right, this song right here is kind of around about 2 dB, minus 2 dB. But this setting right here is cool because it lets you see exactly, what's happening. So let's just jump right into it. So what I'll do is, okay, the other thing too, let me say this right quick, is that when I go to my mix channel, I just drop it down. Now what I'll do, I'm going to just decrease that. There we go. And I'm putting it side by side so you can kind of understand what's happening here. Let me go back out of here again. Alright, now all of this has been compressed into this one mix channel now. Remember, we went down here and went through all of this. So now it's like one mix channel, which is insane. When you first open it up, you're like, where's my rack at? Where's my stuff? You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, right? So one of the first things I'm going to do is a side-by-side comparison, okay? Now, for instance, we got the your return effects. Now, in the old version of Reasons, you basically just had 4 return effects, right? And then they ran across the board like this. Now, the new Reasons is modeled on the Pro SSL board. So now what you have, instead of just the 4 return effects, what you now have is like 8 of them. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. You go in and you can basically just set it up any way you need to set it up, you know. And what I'll do too is I'll show you, like, say normally, I mean, you can start your rack off however, but what I'll do is, for instance, I'll put in, right click, go to create send effects, and I'll put in just the RV7000 reverb, and you see where it comes at right here on the rack. So it's here, and as your rack is open up, it's going right underneath the master section. Now this is your mix channel for this particular mixer right here, for this mix channel right here. I'm bored the volume here. So, and then going up, you know, like this is the bottom, right? So you got 8 effects, then you got what's called your insert, your master inserts. Now, the cool thing about this, like I said, I'm running you through it all the way through. What you want to do here is right click, left click, open up the browser, and then what it's going to do is open up some effects options for you to go through. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but what you want to do, the easiest way, and that's what I'm going to show you, the easiest way to do this and handle this is just go click on your default master combi, alright? And when you do that, it's going to open up down here. Now, all you need to do to see where that's at is go to the top of your rack section, click on show insert effects, and there's your master combi. So basically, all of this, when you hit that default, it's going to open up into, you know, the master combinator. All right. Now, in order to activate that, because you see, basically the only thing that's happening in the track is the maximizer. So all we need to do is just click on each one of these, and then we go ahead on and we're starting to get readings on. We're starting to get sound readings on it. Then go ahead on, click your reverb. Click your EQ, bring it up a little bit so you can get, you know, a little bit more volume. And right away, you can just tell the difference of the punch in the track, right? Then, as the track calls for, you know, you can go ahead on and do some increasing on your compressor and your inputs on your maximizer. You know what I mean? Just get a feel for whatever's cool for you. You know what I mean? I'm just basically showing you that once you default here, you'll go ahead on and you'll get your master combinator rack here. Now what's happening is you can kind of like hear it pumping, because what's going on now is it's kind of like fighting with my master EQs, all the stuff that I had on my older system, on my older song selection. So for right now, what I'm going to do is just bring the volume down on my compressor, just to kind of get an accurate reading. And now you see I'm kind of really peaking at 0 dB here. So I'm just going to go ahead on and lower it so I have a little bit more headroom to work with. Alright? Now, what we're going to do is start working on our rack. Okay? So basically what I like to do, I separate a lot of my stuff, right? I separate everything. So you can see my rack, one of my racks right here. This is like my main EQ, my main mixer rack. So, you know what I'm saying? Then I got another one. So let's just start breaking all the instruments out, okay? I'll go down here to say my keyboard sounds. Alright? I'm gonna start breaking those out. Now, like I said, the main thing I want to do is click on my rack, right? Then what I'm going to do is go over here to my master channel, my mix channel, click on that, and bring it right underneath. Now you can have it on top or underneath, but you know, the main thing you want to make sure that you got it where you understand where it is, okay? Now, the next thing I want to do, and this is critical, I want to name my mix channel. Like I'll just say MX Key 1. And I'm doing that because I'm going to have to flip it around. MX Keys 1. Now, when I flip it around, and this is the most important thing, this is where you'll get a chance to really hear the difference when you start working in your rack. So I hit the tab key, flip it around to the back. It's a mess back there, right? So I'm going to go ahead on and click on my module and hit the K key so I can clean stuff up and I can kind of like see what's happening. So as I look at here, you can see that this keyboard is going directly into my key mixer, because I had set up like about 2 or 3 keys, 2 key modules that are basically kind of like playing the same thing, and I layered them. So they're going into here, and then of course that is going into the master mixer, as you can see right here. Alright, now we're getting ready to disrupt all of that, and like I said, go back down here to key 1, and then what we're going to do, this is critical now, we're going to right click, and then what I'm going to look for is, remember I named it Mix Key 1. Now you can name it whatever you want to name it, but the main thing is to make sure that you name it something that you can find, especially when you got like a crazy rack set up. So I'm going to go down to input left, and then what happens is it's going into my keyboard left, alright, into my mix channel left. Then I'm going to go to the right one, do the same thing, find my mix key 1, and then go to the right, and just like that I got my rack working. And you can tell if it's working, which this is not, because you will get an audio reading on that. Okay, so like I said, now when these keys play, when keyboard keys 1 play, you can see it registering right here in my key mixer. Now if I go ahead on and minimize this, so I'm going to bring over my my mixer now, you can see there's a keyboard playing right there. And I'll go ahead on and solo it. And what will also happen is when I go to my key mixer, you'll see that keyboard, actually key 2 is missing because it's been rerouted to here, which is, so I kind of messed up. That should have been keyboard 2, so I'll just go ahead on and just name that 2 so I can stay on point with everything. Alright, so it's a way, so don't delete your rack until you get everything together that you need to get in there as far as what you're doing, you know what I mean, as far as all your instruments being assigned. So what I'll do next is I'm going to go to the next keyboard that I had layered to play up there, which is keyboard 1. And then what I'm going to do, in order to really kind of like stay on point, I'm just going to drag this below. Alright, so that'll be right underneath keyboard 2. Alright? Alright, now what I'm going to do here is the same thing. I'm going to go over to my mix channel, go over to my tool window, click on my mix channel again, alright, and I'm going to name this Mix Key 1, which I should have named anyway. So Mix Keys 1, and I always name my stuff, man, so I can keep track of it. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is hit the tab key, flip it around, go to keys 1, There's my keys, and then you can see it's going into my key mixer before. And what I'm gonna do again, right click, find mix keys 1. Alright, go down, connect my right channel, mix keys 1 again, connect my left channel, turn it back around, solo it, and now I got both my keyboards playing together. And you can hear the difference already. I mean, man, and I haven't even put any effects in. I'm just running everything dry with the Master Combi, and right away, man, you can hear the punch in your rack. You know what I mean? In your sounds, just by running it straight. Now I move my tool window back over, and I'm looking at my master mixer again, and you can see it registering right here. Like I said, I haven't done anything. Now, that reverb I put over there, now this is what's cool, man. You can, if I wanted to pick up that, if I wanted to hear that reverb in my track, I just click on 1 and 1 here, and I'm just gonna go ahead on and, you know, give it, so you can hear the reverb just from there. So basically, no matter how many tracks you click, just like with the old rack, if you go across 1, you can, you know what I mean, adjust the reverb accordingly. Alright, so I'll just come back out of there and just run it dry for right now. You know what I mean? So far, what we've been able to do, and this is really important, is for you to get your rack up, which is the default master suite, which is right here underneath your master section. So you want to show your insert, and that's where you see it. When you click on show insert, you'll be able to see that. And then, like I said, you'll be able to pump that up as you go along. Alright, so now we got our keyboard set up. Alright, so let's go back in, go back down our rack, and go to the next instrument. And I kind of like to go in order because it's a lot easier to kind of like stay like on point. You know what I mean? So the next one, of course, will be my clavs. Now, what's cool about this is that I connected a lot of outboard racks modules, effects modules, to this particular sound. So what I want to do is show you one way how to do that. Now I'm going to go ahead on and unmute this to make sure that it's doing what I think it's doing. Okay, so the clavs obviously don't come in till the bridge, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to the bridge, like James used to say. I'm going to take it to the bridge so we can just go ahead on, for the sake of just staying in order. So I'm taking my sequencer and I'm moving it over to the bridge because that's where my clavs come in at. Alright? So let me go ahead on and get the loop tight. See what we got going on here. Hit play. Alright, so my clavs are playing in the chord, right, in the bridge right now. So what I want to do, just for the sake of like, if you already have your rack set up and you have your effects on there, instead of like, oh man, I really like, you know, the compressor, everything that I had on there, so I'm messed up now. What do I do? So first of all, what I'll do is I'll go ahead on And the last thing I have in my chain on the clavs is my compressor. So what I'm gonna go ahead on and do, just name this Clav Effects Comp, short for compressor. You can name it whatever the hell you want to name it, right? Alright, so this is the last chain, as you can see, in my effects that I have on the clav. Alright, you see everything is registering here. So, all I need to do is go back to my faithful chain mixer, mix channel, click on there, alright. I'm going to go ahead on the solo so I can check it out right away. Alright, now hit the tab key, flip it around. Now remember, I had Clav Effects Comp, so that's the last thing in my chain, right? So all I need to do is the same thing. I'll right click on my left output. Oh, hold on. I gotta name it. Okay, so I'm gonna name my mix channel on this one MX Clav. Alright, so now I go back up here, I can track my motion, I can see that my clav, the compressor is the last thing on there. And it's going up to all the way up into my mixer. Alright, so now going back, all I need to do is right click, find the name that I called it, which is Mix Clavs, right there. And I need to make sure that, like I said, when I'm going, I've got to find my route. Okay, so what you want to do is your output that's going to your mixer, that's what you want to click on. Alright, and it'll say connected to mixer 2 channel 1. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead on, right click on there, find my mix clav. It might be down some a little bit. Where is it at? There it is. Input. Now always, that's how you can tell if you right, because you'll get your input left and right. Alright, so I go to the input left. See, you can already hear. Alright, then I go to the same thing, right click, then go to my mix clav again. You can see that I already got the left side because it's got the little star right there. There you go. Now you connect it. Okay? And that's a way to go to, like I said, if you already got effects that you like on your setup, you can just, like I said, go to the last effect in that chain and then connect that to your mix channel. Then we'll go back out, move this out the way, click on our channel. See, I have all this stuff up, like I said, so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. And there goes your clav right there. And now you notice you got your keys, and you got, here's your original mixer channel, here's your keyboards, and the keyboards haven't came in yet, but and there's your clav. So what I'll do is just kind of bring it in to where everything will be kind of happening. Now I can stretch it out a little bit so you can kind of check it out. And the cool thing, man, about this is when you want to navigate, you can just kind of pull that bar across. So we just adding stuff right now. But this is a way, man, to be able to separate everything, get great separation, pan them, you know what I mean, in order to take advantage of your sonic spacing. And then you still have all these effects. Now, I'll go over these effects with you right now because you kind of understand how to move your channels, how to move from your old Reason sound to the new SSL board master board. Okay, so this section right here is your EQs. All right, this is, no, I'm sorry, yeah. Go back down. Yeah, this is your EQ section. Now, this is equivalent to before. Remember, you just had treble and bass EQs on the old Reasons. Alright, I'm going to go ahead on and kind of squash this a little bit so you can see it. I'll bring them both together. See, before, you just had, what, bass and treble. You only had two effects that you could use, two rotary dials. Now you got bass. You got your lows, you got your low mids, you got your high mids, and your high frequencies. You know what I'm saying? And the low mids kind of act as a high and low pass filters. And then when you go up here, you actually have your high and low pass filters. All right, you got your low pass filter, you got your high pass filter. So I mean, the options right now are just insane. All right, and then as you go up, you got your gate, and then you got an overall compressor that you can add to the system, to your mix. All right, and then you can activate it and just get as much punch as you possibly can, man, out of your mix. And you got your rotary dials where you can kind of like control it. So you can basically put that on track, or you don't have to, or whatever. But the options now, man, are just endless. What you can do and Reasons. I love it. I love it. And that's why I really put this video together, so you guys can see how to get into 6-man, because it's insane. And not only that, but being able to do the vocals. I'm going to go ahead on and drop some vocals in, and I'll come back and show you exactly what I'm talking about. But for right now, let's go ahead on and walk through a little bit more of the music here. Alright, so now we got the clavs, and you've seen that, like I said, we could just follow the last chain of our effects. So now what I'm doing is I'm going into the Dr. Rex. Alright, now the new Dr. Rex has like 8 windows that you can drop different sequences in, and then you can program it, you can record it like just playing on 1, then you got another loop on 2, and then you can just click 2 anywhere in the song, and then it remembers that and just plays it. That's insane, okay? So as you can see right here, I ran my Dr. Rex through a couple different effects, and I'm going down to the last chain of my effects, which is my compressor. I love to compress, man. Dr. Rex. So I'm going to call that a Doc Rex comp, short for compressor. Alright, now, again, go ahead on and get the tool window. Bring it over. Mix channel. And I'm going to name that Dr. MX, and I call it MX, so I'll just know that that's a mix channel. All right, Dr. MX, Doc Rex 1. So I'll know what to look for. Now I'm gonna go ahead on and solo it, flip it around, find the last in the chain. That's the compressor right there. I can see that that's going up, so obviously that's going to the mixer. Now, what I'm going to do, find my MX Dr. Rex. There it is. Where I just lost, there it is. Left input. To the right. Flip it around, make sure I'm getting a signal coming out. There you have it. Check out my mixer. Dr. Rex right there. So I'm getting an audio signal from that. I'll just go ahead on and solo it. definitely always check. I always flip it around to make sure I'm getting a signal. So I'm going to go ahead and open the track back up. Alright, so moving right along. Go down to the next rack. And I like, I got more stuff going on in this song than I thought, which is cool. So what we're going to do now is take it to the next part of my sequence. Where I had an organ. Alright, NN19. So I'll go down, like I said, I put some effects on here because, I was just kind of get it pumped up. Alright, so this is the last in my effects chain for my organ. You see I named it organ effects or whatever. So, same thing. You know what? Mix channel, baby. It's all about the mix channel, man. If you don't understand that, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. If you don't understand the mix channel, you're gonna have a headache. And it's just real easy, man. Put that mix channel at the bottom of your chain and then do what you gotta do, baby. Alright, now we'll go ahead on and flip it over. Hit the tab key. Now, we'll find, like I said, what's the last? This is the end of our chain right here before it goes up. Right click on the left output channel of the reverb. What did I name it? Oops. I gotta name it, man, because I get lost, man. Mix channel is just mix channel. So that's my organ MX organ. Okay? So now, go back up here, track it. Go down to my left input. Right click. Find my MX organ. Where am I at? MX organ. See, because I named it, I can find it. Spin it around. And I'm not, and I solo it. There you go. Now, let me show you a real cool way to kind of like keep your rack organized. And this is really, really cool, man. And I should have showed you this at the beginning. But say, like I said, you got your old song, and what you want to do in order to kind of keep it organized, you hit the show inserts. Alright. Then we'll go back up. Let me get this out of the way. Go back up to the top. Now, there's one way you can do. You can highlight all the effects that you had in there. Here. There. Take all of that. Drag it into your rack. There you go. You got your organ mix channel. You got everything that you need in there. So that way it's not like all over the place. And then basically you can just minimize that. You know what I mean? Open it up. You have everything that you put in the original. You see everything is reading. It's all good. Then we go to our mix channel. MX organ. You see it happening there. It's a beautiful.